idle hands are the devil's playground.
What's up, everybody? So today we're going to be making some props from one of my favorite movies, probably my favorite movie, who knows, Evil Dead 2. We're going to be recreating some of the props in the shed scene. And the first one we're going to be working on is right here. After Bruce Campbell takes and cuts up his girlfriend with a chainsaw, her head, the blood hits the light bulb, and then you see this cow skull. Now, as you notice on the right, it's a short spike cow skull. So we need to come up with something with a short spike cow skull. So on the cheap, you can get a ram's horn skull from any Halloween supply store, but obviously the horns are wrong. So first thing we're gonna do is take this apart, loosen it up a little bit, and then pop out these horns. All right, here we go. So I got the screws loosened up, and let's pop out the horns. I think they'll just kind of come out easy. I might wind up breaking this, but buzz. We'll see what happens here. I can't get this to pop off too well. Oh, that sucks. On the inside, it's kind of hard to see, but they're in on a slot, so you're going to want to take this apart. And I'm not sure how to separate this top part. There's no screw holding it. Man. That is on good. But if you're careful and you kind of angle it, it looks like I can... Here, let me show you in here so you can see. Whoa. See, it's got a little slot that it fits in. I'm going to pop that out of that slot. Let's see if we can get that out without killing ourselves or the prop. Boom. Got it out. Okay, and now I gotta do this side. Oh, I cracked the skull. Whoops. That's okay though, because, you know, we are going to be coloring this and modifying it anyway. So I didn't put all the screws back in, just this one and these two. That's really all you need. This thing holds together pretty well, but now we have a skull with no horns on it. So we're getting pretty close to our target picture. Put the two side by side and you kind of see what it looks like. All right, so to get the correct spike, instead of it being all curly like it was, let's see, it was curly like that, or actually it was curly like that. I'm gonna take and cut this off to where it starts to curl, and then where it's kind of straight and small at the end, and then just glue those two pieces together, eliminating the curl. So it's more of a spike coming off straight out instead of a curly ram's horn. My favorite tool for cutting is an oversized Dremel, aka an angle grinder. Even better when it's battery operated. So I'm gonna cut it off. Let's cut it off where it straightens first. So I'm going to do that. So now I got a little spike. And then I want to cut it off where it starts to curl. Removing the extra long piece. Let's see what these two look like. Did I do this well? Well, that kind of fits in there, which is cool. But that gives us a straighter spike when glued together. Pretty cool. So let's do that to the other side. we go. So now we got a couple straight pieces and the base, horn base. So let's work with that. Okay, so something you can do to avoid cracking the top like I did is there's a hanger that's mounted there, but more importantly, you take this hanger off and then there's 2 more screws right here. And then it comes apart a little bit better. Let's see, I still got a screw here that got stuck in there. Let me take that out. Yeah, that screw is stuck in there. You can see it right there. So we'll just pull that out. It's like it went past the first thing and like sank through the plastic for some reason. They probably over tightened it, I'm guessing, when they put it together. But anyway, so now we have a perfectly halved ram's skull that we're turning into a, I don't even know what that is with a spike horn like that. That could be a deer maybe, or a cow spike horn, I don't know. All right. So let's see. Here's our inserts. You can see how they just kind of slide in there. I think it just goes in like that. We want it sticking kind of straight out. Pull off some of our melted plastic from the cut. So we got our skill. We want it kind of sticking straight out. So let's see, I can kind of jam that in there like that. And there we go. It's more of a spike horn now, which is pretty cool. This one in place and try to make that also straightish. Just like that. And I think it adds character, not being perfect. I mean, you know, real mounts are rarely perfectly symmetrical. So that adds a little bit more realism to it, if you ask me. So let's get this glued in place so we get the glue set up, and then we'll work on the eye. And I'll show you what I'm going to use for the eye here. Because you can see from the picture, let's do a side by side. That eye looks an awful lot like, to me, a bolt and washer. So I'm going to try to find a washer bigger than the one I got on there now. But this is called a carriage bolt. It's got a round head. And it's got a square box on it, which will help separate the washer from the head of the bolt. And giving that spacing, it'll kind of give it a depth effect that I kind of feel like this picture has in it. But we'll need one on each side. So get you a couple of these. Let me figure out what size this is, and I'll get back to you on that. I need to run the store and pick up another one. I don't have another one this size, I don't think. I ran to my local Ace and picked up a carriage bolt, a fender washer, and a nut. That's a 5/16 nut and carriage bolt, if you're wondering. And the fender washer, I'm not sure the size, but it fits the eye pretty dang good. And if you look, that's how it's pretty much on there as well. So I think I might just start off by leaving it silver because it's kind of cool, and then the eyeball I'll paint white. Or the center, I should say, because it's lighter colored in the middle, as you can see. It's pretty cool looking. So let's try that. So I have marked with a felt tip pen where I need to drill. So let me drill out this guy's eyeball. I'm drilling with a 5/16 drill, same size as my bolt size. Pretty tight fit. Like so. I want to paint the outer part of the washer brown. So I got some deep brown acrylic paint. Just a little dab will do ya. Get out my washer and just simply paint it. Now I'm going to kind of paint it with some purposeful stripes in it, so it kind of looks, I don't know, kind of rusty. It's kind of hard to see here. Let me grab the camera. But as you can see, I got some lines in it, and that's exactly what I want because I want some texture. So I'm going to do both of them like that. And the nice thing too, since it's silver, it'll kind of catch the light a little bit, which is what I want, because I want it to be kind of, I want the eye to be eye-catching. Because, like, you know, I feel like in the movie it just kind of stares back at you and it's kind of creepy. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm going to leave a little bit of brown in my brush and then just dab just a hair bit of white for the head of the screw. Because I want this to be kind of organic looking and not metal. So let me go ahead and pull that out. Get this painted. I got a little bit of my white on the end of my brush. And you can see it's starting to change color. When I add a little bit more, I might need to grab a little bit more brown in there. Just like that. You can see that it's kind of a tan. That's what I want. We'll set that down. Grab the other one, do the same thing. Whoa! Grab the other one and do the same thing here. Just a hair of brown, a little bit of white. On this, I don't want any silver really showing for the eye. I want it all white, so try to get it as thick as possible. I'm gonna add a little bit more of this one just so it's real thick. No silver showing. Just like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and let all this dry. Let's clean our brush. So originally I said Gorilla Glue for the horn. I'm reneging on that because Gorilla Glue is messy and it's not instant gratification like good old hot glue. And I love this hot glue gun, by the way, by Ryobi. Portable, it's cool. So I'm just gonna drop some hot glue down and around the perimeter of this thing so it just holds it in place. And plus it'll kind of smooth out the transition from the hole, I guess. We could touch this up with some paint. I was thinking about corpsing this, but I don't know yet. We'll see how it looks first. Because I think I might just end it with this. There we go, hot glue around the perimeter. Hot glue's fun, but messy and drippy. All right. Just run that around the perimeter again. To crank up the realism a little bit, I'm going ahead and I'm coloring in the teeth a little bit with just a little bit of my brown and white and just touching it here and there just to try to add some shadow detail and some aging for some realism. The nice thing is if you don't know where to put the shadows, they pretty much kind of already done it for you a little bit, but it's just not very dark. So I'm adding a little bit more to it just to make it pop a little bit more. And then when you have like darker cracks like that, try to use a darker color, like straight brown, no brown mixed with white, and then make your tip as flat as you can. And then just get in those cracks and darken them up, and it'll really pop. That's what we're looking for. See what I'm doing right there? Just get down in that crack. I'll just do all the cracks like that. And you can see from a distance, you can actually see the crack a little bit better. I mean, they essentially do this for you. They just do it very subtly, you know. I mean, you could use other colors too to do this. You could use black mixed with a little bit of brown, probably kind of cool, kind of an organic color. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Now I'm going to go over it with just a hair of brown and white. So I want to try to age this a little bit. And really, you want to do this pretty much with your brush as dry as possible. You just grab your color and then start going to town after you kind of dried it a little bit on your plate. You want to leave your light colors on your highest spots, like the white. That gives it more depth, like you'll be able to see it better, depth of field. So your highest spots, you leave the lightest, and your lowest spots, you darken. There's a couple cracks in his nose that I didn't get. Let's grab those with our dark. Just like that, on the end of his nose. Grab some cracks in the end here. Okay, and we'll switch back, add a little white, dry it on the plate. All right, that's about as far as I want to go. So it almost acts like a little bit of flushing too, which is kind of cool. And I like it. It looks, to me, a little more organic and less like a clean, an ultra clean bone. It looks kind of just naturally dried instead of like ultra bleached, which is the look I'm kind of going for because the workshop is kind of grungy. Now, the horns, I could do that as well. We'll add a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit here and there. And we can definitely paint over our glue. Not that you really see it because I used clear and it's kind of down in the hole anyway. But you can see what I'm doing here. I just kind of, same kind of deal. Leave your highs light. Color in your dark ridges. And that basically adds more depth. It'll kind of pop a little bit more. There. Done with the retouching, I think. Get his snoot a little bit more. Yeah, I like that a lot. That looks good. It's more fleshy. Been close to an hour, maybe less. And our paint's pretty much dried. So let's go ahead and put him together. See what he looks like. There's our brown eye with a little bit of silver in it so it pops. And then I'm putting it kind of dead center in the eye. Push our nut through. Tighten it down so it stays in place. Right where we want it, gotta line it up a little bit. And look at that. That's pretty cool if you ask me. And I'm rubbing it off, so I'm gonna have to retouch this, but that's okay. I am impatient. And impatience, stuff like this happens. Because really you want to let the paint cure. So you can see that I've rubbed off a little bit of the paint, so the paint's still wet on the plate. It just tells you how long I actually let it dry for. So I want to paint it white on the eyeball. And then you can see where I kind of rubbed off a little bit too much paint on the brown, so let's go and grab that and get it dialed in right where you want it. You know what, too? It actually makes sense to cross hatch my lines because that looks less like paint streaks and more kind of rusty and worn out. It's kind of weird how it looks on the picture, but you can see what I did there. I kind of cross hatched the pattern opposed to lines. Well, there we go. Does that not look pretty wicked or what? Let me try to get the same angle as the film here. Kind of looking like that. Then we'll do a side by side so you can see it. That is my Evil Dead workshop skull, or I should say shed. Ooh, the teeth you can see really well now too. It is just creepy with those white eyes. I like that a lot. Stay tuned for more Sean Spook Show, and we'll be doing more Idle Hands workshop presentations with making some cool Halloween crafts. So I got a lot of things in the works this Halloween, so subscribe, like if you enjoy this content. Get that little bell, bing, so when my videos pop up, you'll know about them, and you get to watch some more cool Halloween stuff.